Right, today we are reviewing another game on the channel, Civ 7 this one. Um, it's another game that's unfortunately had a lot of negativity, and unfortunately it's rightfully so. Um, I am voicing over the gameplay in the background, so pause if there's anything you want to take an extra look at or all that good stuff. But I'm going to keep it as short and sweet as possible. It's not great. Um, I absolutely love the Civ franchise. I love this style of game, and the annoying thing is the game itself is good, but it's not a Civ game, and I can't overlook that in this review. It's just disappointing to see because the direction they've gone with it has got a lot of potential, but they've executed it in a branding of a Civ game, which I don't see it. There's nothing
A game of strategy
that
is not
screams
idle amusement.
Civ
Instead,
about this game,
we cultivate
and
foresight,
that's where it goes wrong,
circumspection, and learn
unfortunately.
caution. Let us
Um,
build a nation
so speaking a
together
bit about the
so
game,
that we may know how
speaking a bit about what you've
nations
seen
are
on the
built.
menus, there's no you don't pick a nation anymore, which is that well you do, but not really. Well, the nation that you see I'm picking here with Benjamin Franklin at the minute, um, I picked Greece to start with. You don't finish the game with Greece. There's three ages, and each age you advance into, as you can see, their age unlocks. You have to, you're forced, you can't not, you have to pick
Huh?
one of the nations that the game gives you going into the next age. Um, it's a cool feature, but it's not a Civ feature. That is the overall general feeling of it, and I agree. Um, the game itself's beautiful, as always. The the music, the sounds, the perfect. The aesthetics of a Civ game are kind of there. They're not really, but if you was to just not look at the menus and not look at
Writer,
the
printer,
UI,
and inventor,
the
you offer
actual
your
game
counsel
itself
to
looks
all
and
who
feels like a Civ
ask,
game
and
until you
many who.
start messing around with the mechanics and all that good stuff, and then all of a sudden it's not a Civ game anymore. Um, Honestly, if they didn't title it Civilization 7 and just reinvented the franchise and built it again and just called it a Civilization game rather than the next one in the series, I think it would have not got the backlash it did. I've only got 6 or 7 hours in this game, unfortunately, and Civ is my most played game on my Steam profile, and that's disappointing because I love Civ, I love this game, I love this style, but unfortunately, I think they've been a bit pushed back by other developers as well, developing their own versions of these games. Um, a lot of ideas have been copied from other games, and it doesn't feel original. However, like I said, if it wasn't titled Civilization 7, this would be a good game. I don't think it would be as popular on in terms of buys, downloads, whatever, but it would not be down in the dumps as what it is, which is a shame, but it's true. So familiarizing yourself with the UI in the background, um, there is a tutorial when you start, like as so on the right hand side there, you can see you talk through the early stages of the game, which is absolutely fine. Um, but most Civ players will have been coming into a new Civ game. Right, let's go. We can do this. Oh, wow, hold on a minute. Where's that button gone? Oh, why can't I do this? Why is the tutorial telling me to do this? I don't want to do that. That's another major issue with the game. They've taken away the best of the Civ features and either added worthless ones or just not added anything at all. They've just taken away rather than reinventing something. The city growth function, you select which tile you want your city to acquire. There's no workers anymore. Whatever tile you select, so I've just selected the silver resource, the mine is now built on top of that tile already. There's no such thing as a worker to do those jobs for you. I like the feature, but it's not a Civ feature. It's frustrating. But it's a cool idea, but it's not what you expect, and that's where you fall out of love with the game because you're like, well, why I don't want to do that. And what if I want to train a builder and go around and select which ones I want to? You know what I mean? It's a bit frustrating, to be honest. Also, you would have noticed
The caged bird
there's
watches
no
butterflies
map selection. You
with
can't
envy.
select anything. There's no customizable features. You just select new game, you select who you want, and then you're in a game, and everything's created for you. There are mods for the game. I've not touched them. This is a completely vanilla experience. I've not browsed the mods. I don't know if anyone's worked on it. But from my experience, yeah, you can't create your own world essentially, which I think is really, really poor. Let's be honest, one of the best things about a Civ game is exploring the world, the ancient world as it would be, and discovering the other civs, discovering tribes and barbarians, and really feeling like you are developing an empire. Unfortunately, that aspect has been taken away. Um, on a out of 10 rating, active game, probably a 4. As a strategy, city building, exploration game, you're probably almost doubling it. You're probably at about a 7. Um, the way everything functions, I haven't noticed any bugs or anything like that. The AI seems to be a little bit more, um, what's the word? They're more acknowledging of the player. You're not always going to be at war. Civ 6 had an issue where the AI just hated you all the time. I haven't noticed that in this. So they have worked on things, but what's the point in working on broken features, repairing them, and adding a bunch of other crap that no one gives a monkey's about? That I can't love the game for what it is, knowing that I'm playing a Civ game that isn't a Civ game. It is just a shell of a Civ game. It is worth noting there is a new DLC out, and they are releasing more. The combat in the game, brilliant for a Civ game. That is awesome. Naval combat's now been reimagined, and that's what the DLC focuses on. Adding new nations and whatnot. That's fine. Content is content. You can't grumble, and it's free as well if you own the game, which is that for a Civ game that is amazing. But it's not enough. Unfortunately, I don't think it's a lost cause. I'm just unless there are mods out there which I'll take a look at and possibly review further on. Unless there are mods that basically try and bring back old features. It's crazy to even say that, to bring back features of older games when this is the newest one in the franchise. That is absolutely crazy. It's almost like they've just looked at the feedback from the previous games, saw what works, saw what everyone enjoys, and then, you know what, we're not going to have any of that in this one. We're going to do something different. Which, once again, would have been okay if it was branded as an entirely new game, not another Civ game. Or at least not Civ 7. Um, like the sort of, so in the top left there you can see the journal. So you're guided a little bit. You get some missions and whatnot. Research this, build that, and they tie in with. Well, you can kind of make them tie in with who your leader is. So Benjamin Franklin, a very intelligent person, or was a very intelligent person. When you select him, you're heavily science focused. So a science victory is what what you're aiming towards, really. So I selected the science advisor, and you get missions based on, right, you need to research, right, you need to build a great library. Cool. It gives you a bit of direction. I like that. I like being busy, and I like being kept active in the game, because you can become stale in a Civ game pretty quickly, and it can get a bit repetitive, end turn, oh, we'll build that end turn. There is a lot more going on. So there are positives. This game, do not get me wrong, this game is not bad. It just lacks the feel of a Civ game. And that's all it is. That's all it comes down to. In the end, it's just not a Civilization game. The
All
unique
are made of clay.
aspect of ages and your different nations and whatnot, it's cool, but it's not diverse enough. You can have multiple leaders kind of sent into the same nations. I don't know if they can do it in the same game. I don't think that would make sense, but when you're selecting your leader at the start, you'll know, oh, they can also do send to the French Empire. They can also do the French Empire. So then you're just left with, well, if you both get in the same game together, one of you's just got to pick the French Empire. Who's the other guy going to get? Um, it's just overall, it's just frustrating. I tried to give the game the benefit of the doubt when it released. I was on the forums, the Facebook comments saying, look, they'll fix it. Don't worry, they're listening to your advice. And there has been a lot of patches, and a lot of things have been fixed. But you just can't bring back the civilization aspect of the game. And it's just it's such a shame. I bought the Founders Edition. I know a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to refund this game, I'm going to do this. I've never refunded a game in my entire life. I will always try and give it the benefit of the doubt. I'll always try, and especially a game where I've enjoyed the mods over the years. You shouldn't have to rely on mods to keep a game going, but sometimes it is just necessary. Sometimes there are just a bunch of talented people that can do things for some reason the developers don't even think of. And that's the case with this game as well. 'Cause don't get me, when Civ 5 for me, when Civ 5 first came out, it was good, but it got to a stage where if you didn't buy it with all the DLC, it's not. It is just a boring experience. The game wasn't good vanilla. You had to buy the DLC, and the mods for that game was incredible as well. Civ 6 had the same issue. On launch, Civ 6 was terrible. Bugs, once again, because they changed the art style, they've changed the way everything worked completely. Yes, the developers did bring out a mod to revert the graphics back to the original Civ 5 sort of setting. Brilliant, fair enough, whatever. But once again, people struggle to adapt to this new civilization experience. But once all the DLC came out, once the dust settled, and patches came out, and a couple of mods here and there, I actually thought Civ 6 was a really good game in the end. I almost put more hours into Civ 6 than Civ 5, but for me, Civ 5 is one of the best games I've ever played. So if Civ 7 can follow that trajectory and release good DLC, I mean, releasing a free DLC, it's 9 months into the game cycle, and by now you would have expected a lot of the things to have been addressed. They're not, but a free DLC's, you're going to win a couple of people over with that, I get that. So we'll see. The full DLC release, once it's all out, I believe, is December time. So we might revisit the game then. I know there's a patch coming with it and whatnot. But look, I was recording this video, and once I ended it, I actually did want to continue playing, which is a surprise for me. And I probably will give the game a little bit more time, and I probably will play it a little bit more as well. But all in all, it's not a great Civ experience, and it is so. I can't believe I'm saying that, but ayo, it is what it is. Once again, as a casual gamer who's not going to be able to sink thousands of hours into this, initial reaction to the game when it first came out, I couldn't get on with it. There were too much, to be fair. Too much had changed, and just an overall frustrating experience. I seem to be lucky with games that apparently are bug ridden and there's all these issues and whatnot. I don't seem to get any. Civ 6 I did, but nine times out of 10 I don't. Excuse me, I don't get the bugs everyone else gets. So I'm very fortunate to touch a bit of wood in that matter. But yeah, if it's been out a little while now, but if you were on a nice edge on whether or not to try this game, wait for a sale for a start. Don't buy it at full price. I don't think it's worth it. If you're looking for a Civ game, no, don't entertain the price until it's on offer. Obviously, yeah, you get your external site, CD keys and whatnot, but yeah, do not buy the game full price. DLC wise, I don't think there's enough there at the minute anyway, but I've got it all regardless. This is another feature of the game there. When you've settled a new with a settler, it's not a city, it's a town, and you have to purchase the town with gold, which was 600 in this case, for it to be incorporated into your empire as a city. I don't know how to feel about that. I think that's a bit of a poor feature for me. I don't like that. But I'm gonna let the gameplay fizzle out here towards the end of the video. I'll shut up. And yeah, overall consequences of the game, good game, just not Civ game. If you're looking at it thinking, oh, I want to try a new game, I want to try a new city building experience or a new strategy experience, hex that, get the game. You will probably love the game. If you're not a Civ fan or you've not played many hours in the franchise, you will enjoy the game. But if you're coming at it from I am a diehard Civilization fan. I've put thousands of hours in it across the years. I'm disappointed. I am really disappointed. But I am a forgive and forget person if they can address the issues, and unfortunately if mods can reinvent it, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. But I don't see me sinking many hours into this game, to be honest with you, which is a shame. But yeah, I'll just leave this one here, and there's only in it another 2 minutes of gameplay, and I'll just let it fizzle out, and I'll see you in the next one.
The spoken word.